off in 2011, certainly in Virgin Media. We're running a number of customer experience programs, and it's right across the organisation in a number of different areas. The aim of this 12 months or so is to get people onto an even keel, so that's across the whole organisation. There's a general kind of awareness of where we want to be in terms of customer experience. Now in 2012 we introduced Voice of the Brand. Now that was a huge piece, and the important thing about it was that we wanted to communicate customer experience both onshore and offshore, so it's making sure that it's translated and that the same kind of key message hit wherever those customer touch points were. The step one, we're talking about 8,000 people we had to train up. So the first step was to engage everybody. And I suppose the key thing was, we didn't let everyone know that 2011 was just a waste of time or a false start. That was the first thing. So what we did is we had a positioning piece, which really, I suppose, set the scene for what we thought Voice of the Brand was going to be. Now, I suppose the key thing was that these guys go through training most of the year, and most of it just washes over them. And just a quick show of hands, who's ever put a program out there which was full of potential that when it actually landed, didn't quite land? Anyone brave enough to stick a hand in the air where it didn't quite land? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dad. And we didn't want it to be that. We wanted to be one of these things where people remembered what it was. So that was one of the key things about the Voice of the Brand DNA, was that people at least remembered it, and people could then take it away with them. So the first thing we did was we created a viral video, and we were quite protective about this video so that we didn't want everyone to see it. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah, whatever. So we were quite protective and quite, we controlled access to it, so that we tried to make a bit of a water cooler moment, saying, have you seen that? So just give you a quick snippet of that video now. So roll BT.
Difference is what makes us unique. That difference is what made us face up to our strongest challenges and overcome them individually. That individuality allowed each of us the opportunity to be great. And undertake an epic journey of 1,000 miles. A journey that begins with just one step. A journey made easier in directions. Coming together as a beginning. Keeping together is progress, working together is success. Co-creation gave each of us a voice, allowing us to mold and shape our futures and those of our destinies. We understand that. We're with them every day. We've built our foundations on giving them everything they need. I see the way I can change someone's day with the actions I take. That I say.
Sorry about the lighting on that one. Trust me, it was very good. Apologies. So I suppose the video is the first, the kick-off point for this, and really that was the start of our viral campaign, the one that we wanted people to talk about and remember more than anything. So we thought we've got to reach a large audience as quick as time as possible and with a consistent message. Have a wild stab in the dark what we thought might be the best technology. Anybody? What would you use if you had to train 8,000 people globally? Mobile. Correct, sir. No, it's e-learning was the way to remember it. So we decided to develop 3 e-learning modules, which the key thing was that they weren't the usual talky, preachy, soft skills kind of thing. We thought, you know what, train people for life. And that's really what we tried to do. We created 3 online modules which we then wrapped up in a curriculum and stuck out to people. And one of the really important things was that people came back to us time and time again and said, that wasn't like normal training. And I was afraid to ask what that actually meant, but they said that it didn't feel like training, it felt like I was being prepared for real life. And pretty much that's what we did. One of the important things was that there was a cultural piece in there. We used lots of, I suppose, everyday speech and everyday language. And we were quite concerned about this being rolled out offshore. So there were some translations and definitions put in there as well, especially the swear words, which didn't make it to the final version. But yeah, feedback was fantastic. They really went down really well, and we were quite pleased. And it's certainly the kind of approach we'd like to use time and time in the next couple of programs. That is. I suppose the e-learning was just the part of it, but the next thing there was a portal which we developed too. Now, Purple Media was central in making this portal look really good, so thank you for that. And just bring it up here, one of the thing is that we also hooked it into our learning management system. One of the key things we wanted to do is to make sure that it stood apart from everything else that was delivered by the LMS as well. So again, hence it looked different. It had that kind of slightly cheeky Virgin Media, not quite corporate feel, and I think Purple Media helped us capture that perfectly. There's a Managers tab. I'm not sure if you can make it out from there. I hope you can. But the Managers tab was quite clear about the messaging about developing yourself, developing other people. And really, I suppose that's what underlined the whole of this Voice of the Brand program, is that it wasn't just regular training. It felt like it didn't fit the norm, it didn't fit the pattern. We also worked with Good Practice in terms of having a number of resources accessible from the portal, and again, they went down a real storm too, because they didn't feel like they were just being spoon-fed to us. It felt like it was designed to help you in and outside of the workplace. So good on Good Practice for that. At its peak, the site was getting about 300 hits a day, which doesn't sound a lot, but considering we've got to work in shrinkage and availability, that was more than we could possibly hope for. I suppose the one thing which we're quite proud about is that it didn't come across as spoon-fed e-learning. Most of us know the whole 70-20-10 thing, and I suppose we made sure that featured large in any of this kind of strategy, because these all people need help when they need it. They don't necessarily want to try and memorize it and take it away. As Louise has already said, that's not the way the modern learner works. So we thought, well, let's give them a bunch of resources that when they need it, in that moment of need, then they can dip into it. And that was put down a storm too. Any questions so far? Anything at all?
What's the 2017-2010 model?
That's the performance supports. It's Moshe and Gottfriedson, I think it is. The point is that 10% of people learn formally in the classroom, 20% is in peers, 70% is on-the-job performance. So I suppose the way we look at it is that if you prepare people for the workplace, then it means that they're not going to lock it away in their long term and then forget about it. It's not to say that formal learning is dead, because obviously most of us will be out of a job. But the point is that we realise our place in the whole scheme of things. And it's not that people just sit on every word and learn everything from us. A lot of it comes from what they'll learn outside. So let's prepare them, let's give them all the tools they need when they do their day job. And that's really part and parcel of our portal here. We're running a little bit longer than time, so I'll try and wrap it up. In terms of the results for this, off the charts as far as we're concerned. We're exceptionally happy with the results we've had, both from the employees in terms of how they received the learning, but also how they've been able to put it into practice too. Return traffic and reports have been very, very promising. So we're thrilled to bits, and it's one of these things that we thought, those Purple Media guys, I'm not wired up to anything here, by the way, but they are an awesome bunch. Can't recommend them highly enough. I suppose the final thing I'll leave you with is, as a team, as a central design team in Virgin Media, we're wondering where next. And a lot of it picks up on where Louise was talking about before. Our learners now are coming through millennials. We're talking about people that walk into our training rooms from 20 up to 50, 60, whatever. We're talking people who are used to technology, they're used to social learning, they're used to social networking. A lot of the technology they have in their pockets outstrips what we can give them in the workplace. We need to evolve our training, we need to evolve our thinking to mirror that. Otherwise we become extinct. And as a design function, we can't afford for that to happen. I'm done. Thanks for listening.
One of the challenges that you might face next year, based on some of the stores, the refits that you've got at the moment, is there anything that you think you might struggle with?
Is it on? I suppose the biggest struggle for us is that our customers have those expectations too. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have been into the Virgin Media store. Is it Stratford? Is that the
Hammersmith.
Hammersmith, thank you. I'm a northern boy. Everything south of Birmingham is just south. in Hammersmith, if you get a chance to go in and have a look at it, it is pretty sexy tech. So you've got sort of touch-sensitive walls, and it's, as a concept store, it's awesome. You walk in, if you've been into a Virgin Media retail store before, you think, oh, quite nice, very red and white. Whereas now, this is the kind of thing, people walk in, there's this sense of wonderment as customers walk in thinking, can I touch that? Can I, there's like a feature wall where you can go in, you can pick a mobile phone, you can, it's rather like a large iPad, that's the best way of describing it. And it's that sense of, I suppose, exciting our customers to think, that's what Virgin Media give to me to play with the customer. I suppose that's the technical challenge, is wowing our customers and our learners at the same time. So it's just making sure that people feel that when they do business with Virgin Media, that they're not doing the same old stuff. And we're proud of that. And we think that we would like them that run through everything that we work on, everything we design, everything we put out to both customers and to our learners too.